What's up, everybody? See, K's already in the chat. Some people will join in later, but we're here. We're live. Leroy is looking over his computer, over the camera. I don't know where he's looking at. Where are you looking?
Hmm?
Where are you looking?
I was looking to make
Through
sure
his
something
computer.
was still on.
Okay, fair enough.
There it is.
There we go. This is the We Trying channel, Nerdy by Nature production. That's Leroy. I'm Michael. Leroy's dropping in the topic we're talking about. This is what it came to his head. I think it's interesting. We'll get to it in a second as more people slowly come in. But what's been going on with you, man?
Not much. Ooh,
Okay.
I didn't realize it had. I didn't look at the comments for this article. Uh,
Fantastic.
so I was just scrolling
You
through
sound like a
some of the.
WLTX reporter.
I mean, I was one at one point in time.
There we go. Fantastic.
uh, yeah. So I was like, oh, 159 comments. I was like,
Okay.
I wonder what they were saying
Okay.
on the article.
Uh, yeah, this is how much I wanted to be with y'all tonight. I'm over here missing money in the bank to do this live. It's some good stuff, Leroy. Oh man, you said you used to watch wrestling, kinda, not really,
Yeah, I used to watch it back in the day. I used to love wrestling.
man. These people are wild for the stuff they do. That's all I'll say.
Used to
For
watch
the
it a
love of the
lot back in the
fans.
day.
Yeah.
I think I left. I left before John Cena.
Okay.
I left right
So like Stone
at the
Cold,
end of
Rock.
Stone
Yeah.
Cold and The Rock was the ending of my wrestling. I was there for the NWO. I was there when Sting came back and he
Sure.
was doing the Crow stuff. I mean, I started with the Four Horsemen.
Oh, so you was doing like
The,
early '90s, late
oh,
'80s.
I was there for the original Four Horsemen because I used to watch with my granddad.
Okay.
And he used to have the wrestling magazines. He used to have a Ford pickup truck. I remember it was a rusted out old Ford truck, and because my grandmother didn't like the wrestling magazines in the house because they were so graphic. Because you remember back in the day, they used to slit their foreheads and stuff with the razor blades. So I used to think they were real.
Sure.
I don't know if I've said this on this chat, but I've said before. I was one of those people who was like, "Damn it, it's real to me," because I always thought it was real until I got older, and then I got made fun of that it was real, and I was like, "No, this is real. That's real blood." And then I remember somebody broke it down and was like, somebody who was nice. I want to say they were nicer about it. They weren't like a dick about it. Or basically was like, "You like boxing, right?" Yeah. And they were like, "And they hit them with gloves, right?" I was like, "Yeah." Now imagine if they hit with knuckles
Hmm.
without gloves. And I was like, "Oh." And I was like, "But it still hurts, right?" They were, "Oh yeah, definitely still hurts. It's just like it's still physical. You know, they're still athletes." But so yeah, so I met Sheamus. Um, did I meet the Big Show? Interviewed Arn. Got to see Arn Anderson at the what was the last North Carolina Heroes Con? Arn Anderson was there. Um, remember
We
we
met Teddy
interviewed
Long.
had met Teddy Long. I've met most of the Four Horsemen, except for I've met the Andersons. I haven't met Ric Flair yet. Um, I've interviewed Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hmm.
Who else did we interview? We've interviewed a couple of wrestlers
Yeah, they
when we
they
used to work at
come to a lot of the
LTX.
cons. So yeah, I mean, for
The
me,
Shield.
as we're
Remember the Shield?
yeah,
So they came through Columbia. I got to hang out, drink beers with them one night. Yeah,
with like with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and
yeah.
that's cool.
So remember when Sheamus was big
Yeah.
and the Shield was just coming up? They came
Hmm.
through Columbia years ago, and there used to be this after-hour spot um, over there by the gates, with those condos over there.
Okay.
This is years ago. So they came through after the show, and this is before they got real big. Sheamus was the biggest one at the time, and I was like, "Is that Sheamus?" And they were like, "Who the is Sheamus?" And I was like, that ginger dude right there. And at first, 'cause it's like you think Sheamus is so much bigger, but he really wasn't that big. Neither was Roman Reigns at the time. Now he might have been, but yeah,
Is that hand to your child? What is that?
it was the pimp hand.
It was the pimp. Okay, great.
He felt it through the force.
Okay, wonderful.
So yeah, yeah, I used to love wrestling. I still love watching like old matches and stuff like with The Rock and Triple H, going back and stuff like that.
Fair enough. But that's enough wrestling talk. We could do a wrestling podcast later if that's ever
No, we
something we want
couldn't.
to do. We could talk
No,
about
we
wrestling.
couldn't. I couldn't. Not like you could.
I think you could just talk about it. You don't have to be a full podcast. You could do an episode about it.
I could probably do an episode or two.
Yeah.
Like I'm not into it like you and Avery are into it.
Yeah,
Like
and I'm
that
not
anymore.
into it like Avery's into it. I'm
Yeah.
getting back there though.
Yeah.
Kay, you brought up one thing. You were saying that your brother was into it in the 70s and 80s, but you didn't get into it. I kind of fell out of it, and the reason why I got back into it because I started watching all the documentaries they had done on Peacock. Granted, you got to there's a bias, right? Because it's made by the company that wants you to believe in wrestling or whatever, but they're done very well. And just hearing people talking about the injuries they sustained and whether or not, even though it is scripted, like you said, the injuries are real, the stuff they do is ridiculous. So I'm enjoying it now from that perspective of just the ring psychology of how they set up matches and the philosophy behind stuff like that. But we ain't talking about that. We're talking about video games. Leroy,
Yeah.
what's going on? What's
Mhm.
happening?
Oh, just making sure the gremlin is okay.
Mhm.
So I saw this article and I only saw the headline. So basically, um, the headline was there are 19 billion in unplayed games on Steam. Steam users have spent 19 billion on games they've never played. And I only saw that headline. And it made me think, oh my gosh, that's insane. Like we've put enough money into our Steam catalog to buy a country. And and it and it made me think like about the whole how many games do you buy and how many games do you actually play, Steam, and just kind of like the psychology behind it. But then another article came out from Ars Technica that says the math on the unplayed Steam shame is way off and no cause for guilt. And the idea was is that the article when it first came out was kind of not shaming in a way. I didn't take it that way. I could see how some people did. Basically, that what they were saying was is that they extrapolated some data from Steam ID. Hold on. Steam ID Finder. And basically, from all the public profiles that were out there, they did some funny math. And so here's the from the article from Ars Technica from Kevin Purdy. Using data from what it claims are roughly 10% of the 73 million Steam accounts in its database to set to public. PC Games and extrapolates 1.9 billion unplayed games, multiplies it by 10, and casually suggests that there are 19 billion in unplayed games hanging around. And it goes on to say that is more than the gross national product of Nicaragua, Niger, Chad, and Mauritius. Um, the math is funny. It's very fuzzy. We talked about this a little bit when we were like discussing show topics, and it it made me start thinking about like the Steam library that I have, but also why people buy games and what the psychology behind buying games and owning them and then just not playing them. And I just wanted to get into that because I think the math is fuzzy. And the article that I put in the chat actually will talk about the math, but I wanted to get to a little bit more about what makes you buy a game and what makes you play it versus what makes you not play it. And
Mhm.
I thought that was a more interesting topic than the actual hard numbers.
Well, quick fact check. Do you know how many games you have in your Steam account?
Yes, I have it right here. So
Okay,
on my Steam account, I have 27 games.
you have
So I
more
have
than
my
me.
Steam. So now here's the funny thing. So actually no, I have 33. I have 33 games. Now that's including demos
Hmm.
and free games that I've
Hmm.
like downloaded. So like Warframe, The First Descendant, uh, Last Ark, The Lost Ark, Life is Strange demo, and like a lot of there's some not shovelware but like free stuff that I have on here. So I have 33 total games. Now my wish list has 102. So, and that's just on Steam. That's not including my PSN account or my Xbox account.
Hmm.
But how many?
I have 8.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Um, and really, only one of those games I actually bought. I think the other ones were demos, and then one of them was a free game. Because remember, I didn't become a PC gamer until when did we start this channel? 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago, and I bought this computer to be able to stream stuff and do stuff. Because
Mhm.
I was really always doing console stuff. I had a PC years ago that really wasn't a gaming PC. It was more for like email and work stuff. So I really
Had a
could play a
monitor go
bunch.
with it too.
Yep, sure did. Um, but yeah, it really wasn't a gaming PC, so I didn't really do a lot of gaming stuff. I played a lot
Mhm.
of basic stuff. But yeah, I just got this PC 2 years ago, and I still haven't really bought any games for it. Um, and the one game I bought, it does go to what that first article talks about. It was part of a super sale. It was like all of the Civilization 6 and all the DLC for it for maybe
Mhm.
$15 because it was on sale. But yeah, so I don't really have a lot. I mean, I think the conversation is interesting, and it kind of goes to a bigger idea of then, Kay, if you don't have a Steam account, if you had an idea, or do you have any type of any game libraries, like whether it's Xbox or PC or not PC, PS4, how many games you have? Because that'd be an interesting idea too. But yeah, the idea of spending so much money on stuff and then it just sitting there is interesting because it's kind of like you have the idea of you'd want access to these games whether or not you're going to play them. It kind of goes what the K was talking about. My brother buys a few games when they are on sale for the intention of playing later, knowing he won't play all of them in the near future. And you've talked to me about it before about all the games that I've bought that are just sitting here, actual physical games,
Mhm.
not Steam library games, but physical games that I buy because they're super cheap. I think I have at least 2 or 3 unopened PS2 games that I've never played just because they were super cheap and I wanted them. And I
Which games
probably
were
won't
they?
play them now. Oh God, I have a Beat Mania game. You remember Beat Mania? It's a rhythm game before Guitar Hero and Rock Band and all that stuff, but essentially it gave you like this machine with pads
Hmm.
that you would hit, and you would play to a rhythm and hit the pads on the rhythm. I played it in the arcade once.
With like with your feet or whatever,
No, no,
and
that's
the pad
Dance
was on the
Dance.
ground.
That's Dance Dance Revolution.
Oh.
Similar concept, but instead of using your feet, use your hands. But I do have a steel dance pad for Dance Dance Revolution that I bought. Man,
Hmm.
that must have been a decade ago that I haven't used in forever. But yeah, I mean, just a bunch of stuff that I bought that I just like the idea of having still wrapped up, never opened. Don't know if I'll ever get around to playing it.
Hmm, interesting. Like I
Yeah.
can't. So I don't have any games physical that I've bought and have not played. I'm trying to look over there. I did. You know what? I did have one, and I did. I started playing it and I enjoyed it, but I didn't finish. Now that's something that I've just started doing: buying games and then okay,
You like it?
it's okay. It looks like cucumbers ejaculated all over your shirt.
It's kiwis.
Okay,
Does she want to show the chat?
no.
Oh, okay. I mean, you
Um,
can't say that phrase and then not think the chat wants to know what you're talking about.
I'll take a picture of the shirt and put it post it online. But it's
Okay.
just like it looks like cucumbers from here.
All right.
Um, no, so like for me, I got Greedfall for a gift, It's the PS5 version, and I started playing it, and I did like it. But I just you ever play a role playing game and you do all the side quests and you forget what the main mission is,
A lot of
and then you
times.
have to go back to the actual. So yeah, that's what happened with me in Greedfall. Like I'm gonna go back to like finish the game, but then also part of the reason why I stopped playing it, it got a little too real.
Hmm.
Um, um, so if you want to know what Greedfall is, basically think about it's basically colonizing the new world. There's the Catholics and the Muslims basically come to the new world and colonize the new world, and you are trying to find a cure for a disease that is afflicting people in Europe. And it's not really Europe, but it's basically. And so you have two warring factions, and then you have the indigenous people who are being exploited, who don't understand what's happening to them, and they're fighting back. And it's okay, but it got a little too real in the sense of, oh, this is how this shit actually went down.
Hmm.
So, but no, I don't have any unopened games that I've not played. I have unopened games that I've like played before, or like I when I had GameFly for a while, and
Is that still going?
Redbox. Yeah, GameFly's still a thing.
Okay.
Um, yeah, K basically America the game. And it got a little too real. Uh, they honestly they were they really were testing cures on locals. Like it really is a game that you're just like, okay, I need to put this down because it's like really, um, it really has a lot of like, it's deeply rooted in colonization. Um, but when Redbox had games and you could play rent games, so like when I played um, Call of Duty, I had it still wrapped because I got it as a gift. And I'd already played it and beaten it when I rented it, but I didn't have um, the actual game. I rented it. So yeah, so I have a few games like that. So like Last of Us Part Two, the PS5 edition. Um, Last of Us, uh, Last of Us Part One, the PS5 edition. I have the PS4 editions of those games and an unopened version, PS5 version. Yeah, I'm not joking, y'all. It really is. Greedfall is like a cool game where you start off as a person trying to find this cure. So you go to the new world. The island's called Tier for D, and you you're from the merchant class, so you're like an ambassador to so to speak. So you liaison with the two major factions, and then the the natives, the indigenous people. There are missions where the Catholics or whatever they're called are trying to convert the natives, and they're just straight up snatching people off the land and putting them in re-education camps in this game. Like there was some like, and then the and I don't want to say Muslims, but that's pretty much what they are. Like the Arab versions, um, they are like the science people. So they are like they're closest to finding the cure. And they're like snatching some of the natives up and testing the cure on some of them. And it's like, this game is problematic as hell. So yeah. So yeah, that all that to say, I had to stop playing that for a little while.
Hmm.
But let me ask you this: what makes you stop playing a game? Because you're one of you. I thought you were the weirdo. Turns out I was the weirdo because I wasn't doing this. So what makes you stop playing? As you're going through a game, you just stop playing it and then you pick up something else.
Um, well, it's different from stop playing as to not even playing it to begin with. because I think my time is I'll buy these games and I won't get to them because something newer comes out and I'll play that and I'll never even start it. I don't know there. I'm sure there are some, but I can't think of many games that I have played and not finished, or at least gotten to the end. I might not have 100% of it, but at least I got to the end credits. The most
Oh,
recent
really?
one I can
Okay.
think of, yeah, the most recent one I can think of is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I started playing that last year, and I put that down because I started picking up. Oh, dang! In that case, I would say two games: Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Hitman, the latest Hitman game. I played those, and they're kind of just sitting on my PlayStation for me to go back to them. Because other things came out. That's the biggest reason why I would stop playing games. Like, oh, because I'm not very good at playing multiple games at once, unless it's a
Mhm.
game that's kind of like I don't have to think about. I can kind of do, but if I'm like really involved in the story, I kind of like to play one game at a time, finish it, do it all, and then go to another game. So
Mhm.
right now, the main reason why I stopped playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I went to Hitman. I stopped playing Hitman because I went to other games that I played and beat, and now I'm playing whatever the latest Jedi game is, Star Wars Jedi Survivor on because it's on Game Pass or whatever. That one I'm pretty sure I'll beat. I probably won't. I
Mhm.
don't think I'll 100% it, but I'll definitely beat it. I'm enjoying it. I was playing that actually before we started the stream. Um, but yeah, for me, it's always another game comes in the way, and then I kind of forget to go back. Um,
Mhm.
I feel confident that I will go back to Valhalla just because I was enjoying it, but other stuff just popped up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this year I've this is the first time I've ever done this. I say the last this year and last year. Um,
Yeah, Ken, I like that.
this is the first time I've ever in the last year and a half, and it's primarily I want to say because of life, where I've stopped playing a game and not finished it, and then so far has gone since I played it. I just pick up something else. So in my catalog of games, I need to go back to Horizon, Forbidden West,
You
Cyberpunk,
never finished. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'll ask after you. You may list it.
Cyberpunk, Greedfall, Armored Core,
The new one.
and yeah,
Okay.
uh, and that's all I can come up with right now. Usually, what usually I will finish a game, or I will go back to it. Like I've stopped. I'll like sometimes like I've gone back to a game like I've gone so far where I'll just reset the game. Like I'll just delete all the saves and start from scratch just to get
Sure.
back into it. But this last 2 years,
Um,
I've um in Origins because I got so lost in Origins with all the side. I forgot what my original mission was, and then I turned on the Explore mode and just explored the pyramids.
2018 God of War. Did you ever play that or no?
I did. I did not finish that.
Okay, that was the one I was thinking about because I remember you were. I was in love with it. And you were like, it's all right. So I was curious if you ever finished it or whatever.
So that's another one. I try to remember what happened. Like something always happens that like causes me not to be able to like
That
get back
one.
to it.
That was before you had your kids, right? That game count
Yeah,
before you had. Yeah, because I was
yeah.
curious if you had played it since then, if it would change what you thought of it.
Uh,
Um,
oh no, Binks. I have deleted. So like and I'm about to do this right now. On and speaking of Steam, I don't like where I am in No Man's Sky, and I'm about to restart that entire game. And that's the first game I bought on the Steam Deck,
mhm.
and I have over 100 hours in that game.
Hmm.
And I'm seriously about to restart and just start from the beginning. Um, so yeah, there's a couple of games, and I think part of it is sometimes I will say that as a new parent, there are times in a game where I've been like, that doesn't bother me. And
Hmm.
then as I played a game, the life events have changed my perspective. So, like, you've never played the Fallout games, right?
No, no, I did play one of them for like 2 minutes. Like this ain't for me. I can't remember
So
which one it was though.
I love Fallout games. I'm replaying Fallout 4 for the second time right now. After the show, I dove back into Fallout 4. The beginning of Fallout 4 starts with you, your wife, and you have a young infant son. You guys go into the vault. Vault closes, and you wake up and you see your wife holding your infant, and some dude shows up with a freaking 44, opens the vault, pulls your kid out. Your wife is holding on to the kid. He shoots her and steals the kid and leaves. And you've got to track down the person, his name is Kellogg, and get your son back. And it's so many years after, where the kid is like, he's not grown yet, but he's not an infant anymore, and
Hmm.
you have to find your kid. Um, so the first time I played it, I don't even think I was married. So like, but now that first time, that first initial, you're like, ugh. And then you've got to relive it. So like you have to dive into the memories of the guy who stole your son, and you relive that moment again. And just on, a 10-year-old game, it's still a little jarring for me. And so I keep it down. Um, so
I feel so bad for Katie.
don't. She signed up for this.
She just trying to live her life. Oh, she threw it back. Good for you. You fight back, girl. You know, don't take that from him.
Um, so yeah, so like that's that's just Fallout 4. But Horizon, I'm trying to think what maybe stop Horizon. Ayla got on my nerves.
This was the first one. No, this was a no. You played the
Second.
second one. You
Oh, I love the first one. Yeah, she got on my nerves. She treated
Aloy
that
is
clone.
definitely a person that kind of knows everything, and she lets other people know that she knows everything.
Yeah, like the first one I understood why she was the way she was. This one I was like, hey man, give these people some grace, man.
Yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, I will say that I think those numbers are misleading because for me, and I know a lot of people, um, so like on my Steam account, I have picked up games that I've already played on my PS4 or PS5 to play on Steam because I can take it with me.
Hmm.
Now, if Sony would just get off their ass and make a PlayStation Portable, I wouldn't have to
They
do
made
that.
one.
No, they didn't.
They made one that people bought.
They made some bullshit. That's what they made. Sorry for the people. Just trying to be more kid friendly. Um, but no, so like Control, uh, Max Payne 3, uh, The Division, Borderlands. I've played all of those games. I bought them on Steam or picked them up for free or on sale because I wanted to play them, and they're good games to play on the go.
Hmm.
Just dive in for a mission or here and there and just play. So that's part of the reason why there are certain games on Steam I've never opened.
Fair enough. Um, do you think? And this may be a different question or a different. It's within the same thing, but do you think there's an inherent problem with so many people buying games and not playing them? Do you feel like it devalues games at all? Because that's a
I
conversation
don't
I've
know.
heard sometimes about people are like, oh,
I
people buy all these games for so cheap, and it's like, well, why will you ever? How will companies make money if people are always buying stuff through sales and whatnot?
see that was that I this is where I wish we were at the point where we were big enough and we could do this full time because I would love to do like what a CNBC does or a Fox Business News where they actually interview economists and people who know this, like how are you making money? Kind of like when you go on Amazon and it's like this stuff is dirt cheap and you're like, how are you selling a battery, like a
Hmm.
backup battery for this price when it was retailed at $70? So like I have a brick that I use for the Steam Deck, but I use it for my cell phone and laptop. And it's a Basis battery, Bezos. And I love that battery. But I'm
Hmm.
like, I got it for so cheap. How were they making any money on this thing? Because every time I see it, it's on sale.
Hmm.
So I would love to know from somebody who's in the business who understands that, like, how are you able to make money off of something like it's almost like Vampire Survivors. Did you hear about that game? It's like
What about
a
it?
two, like like the
Do I know the premise
it
of
was
it?
like no. I'm saying like
Oh,
the game and how much it costs. The game was
oh
two
no, I don't know that.
dollars. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The game was $2, and it's like was one of the best selling games of all time. But it's like, well, how are you able to make money off of that? It's $2, and it's like, well, so many people were buying it and word of mouth. I'm guessing the fact that it was $2 just made people like I can afford $2. It's less than a cup
Hmm.
of coffee. Um, so yeah, I will say that I gaming has gotten a little bit like streaming, where there's so much out there, it's hard to keep up with every game. So
Sure.
like Tunic is on my list of games to play. I think I got it for like $4 or $5, and it's now. I think it was one of the PlayStation games that I could download,
Yeah,
the
it is now.
PSN
Yeah.
games, and I downloaded it, and I just haven't gotten a chance to get to it. Um, so there is a lot of that where I have bought a game that I was like, oh, it's so cheap, I'm gonna get it, and then it ends up being free on PSN. It's the monthly game, and I'm like, okay, I'll just download it, and then I end up playing it on PlayStation and don't go back to playing it on Steam.
Sure. So then, I guess the big question is this a problem that so many people have these games and they're not playing them? Like, aside from game companies making profit or whatever, is this issue affecting people? Because kind of going back to the and this is a topic we had before. I don't know if it was on this channel, it might have been on the other channel, but your pile of shame, like games you haven't played. I don't really think of it
Yeah.
that way. It's just like it's games I'll get to eventually. I think Kay brought that up. If I own the game, I'll get to it eventually. That's kind of how I look at it. So I don't really worry about it being a game pile of shame or whatever because I bought it. I'll get to it.
But here's the thing: the Ars Technica brings up. There's a much larger point to argue here. You do not have to feel shame about giving too much money to people making games, especially smaller games, if you don't want to. This applies to even broader understandings of unplayed, like checking out an intro level or two, sometimes playing a game for a little bit and decide it's not something you want to put dozens more hours into it, whether or not you go for a full refund. Um, my only problem with the Steam library is you can't inherit a Steam library. So, like, when I go, I've paid for these games. I can't gift my library to somebody else. Does that make sense? So,
Well,
like,
that's
I would
yeah. I mean,
love.
that's an issue with digital stuff overall, anyway, right?
Yeah, and that's my biggest problem. That's my only problem, really. I would love to be able to, like, if I amass this collection of games, I would love for my sons to play it, or like if my wife, like I would love for that to be a thing, or my brother. Like, let's say my kids aren't big video game people. Like, my brother's into video games. I would love to be able to give them to him. Um,
Hmm.
but
For those
that's
keeping
my
track, I keep
biggest.
looking over my side because I'm trying to figure out if Cody Rhodes is about to lose. Yep, he did. Oh, Cody.
Uh,
It's a sad day, Leroy. The good guys lost.
Cody Rhodes is a good guy now.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
Leroy, you have,
yeah.
whew, man, you don't. Yeah, Cody Rhodes is the biggest good guy in the WWE right now.
Well, I remember. See, I dipped back in for a while, and Cody Rhodes was a bad guy, and so
He was
yeah.
when he was with AEW, but when he came back to WWE, he's pretty much been on the face side, the baby face side.
Okay.
But yeah,
No, let's get to some of these comments. Banks brought up. Uh, hold on, let me scroll down. How do I get? Banks brought up. Kind of surprised they keep track of that, Michael. I figured they'd just be glad the game got bought. I will
sure.
say every business keeps track of who's buying and how they're using it because that informs your next thing that you do with this, whether it's cars, whether it's games, whether it's you're always interested in the analytics of how people are using your product. So that doesn't surprise me that people are that they're keeping track of it. What does surprise me is, or what I'm interested in is what they're doing with that data. Like, are they cool with you just buying the game and not playing it? You're just getting the money. Kind of like where I think Sony and Microsoft realized they effed up when they did not put together a more comprehensive way for actual people to buy their consoles versus scalpers and bots buying their consoles to get them out there. I think
Hmm.
that is something I think Sony and Microsoft did not do a good job of, and I think they realize that now with the way this console generation is going. I think in the beginning they were just happy that people were buying the consoles and didn't think about the fact of, oh, actual people who want these consoles did not get them in the beginning. They were just happy to get that money because it was a pandemic. And I think once they realized that, that's when they realize, oh, we need to keep track of actually who's playing who actually versus a warehouse of these consoles sitting there and no
Hmm.
one playing them. Um, I am interested in that data. Another comment I want to get to. Uh, Kim from Chicago brings up, yes, there was that recent court filing. Steam can block transfer of digital assets. Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of that. I really wish they would. I hope in our generation, in our lifetime, they will get to a place where you can transfer your digital library, or when someone passes on, or transferring and or joining accounts. So,
Hmm.
like, I have a digital library. I pass. My sons are able to add that profile onto there, so they have access to that digital library that I have. Um, Mm, let's see who else. Another comment I want to get to. Ken, explain what you said. People could have waiting for BG3 to go on sale but didn't. Somebody explain what that is. Uh,
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Um,
because he was talking about because it was so popular that a lot of people. I think there was a push to make. Oh, I'll just wait till it goes on sale, but it was so
mhm.
popular people bought it at full price.
And here's another thing. Some of these games ain't going on a big sales.
Nintendo games do
Armored
not go
Core.
on sale a lot.
Armored Core and From Software games don't go on huge sales. Armored Core I got for $30. No, actually I got Armored Core from Scratch and Spin. Uh, but yeah, Armored Core for a while didn't drop below $40,
Hmm.
and it dropped the lowest I've ever seen is 34. So
Mm.
yeah, some of these games don't drop in price. Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring I have not seen drop below 30. I haven't seen Elden Ring drop below $40. And same thing with Baldur's Gate. So yeah. Going forward, does this article change how you view gaming, like how you view your gaming library? Like, will it make you pause before you buy a game or before
Oh
you?
God, no. Because I've already had that come to Jesus moment a long time ago about I'm
Oh,
just
really?
buying more and more stuff that I'm not going to play. Yeah, I've already accepted. Drew McIntyre upset because he lost his Money in the Bank contract. Yeah, it is. What's that name? Oh
Come
yeah,
to Jesus moment.
come to Jesus moment.
Hmm.
Essentially because kind of going back to what Kay was saying, if I bought it, I own it, I can play it eventually, hopefully, as long as the server stays online and the license doesn't go away. But I'm not so worried about buying so many games that I can't play them because for the most part, I have more physical games that I haven't played than digital games. Because, like I said, I only have 8 games in my Steam library. The only one that I bought was Sid Meier's Civilization 6, and that was maybe $12 with so much DLC. Um, and honestly, I wonder if I will play that game before Civilization 7 comes out because that got announced during Summer Game Fest.
Yeah.
So I might go on to the bigger and better of that because I had already played Civ 6 on consoles when it was free on Game Pass. I just happened to get it for PC because it was everything there. So it was more just to say I could have it to play around with it, but I may not ever open that. I may go straight to Civ 7 now at this point.
I'm with Kay. I don't buy digital games, but if you have a Steam library, everything you buy is digital. But I will say this: I had a very humbling experience. I think I posted the picture. If you have been following us, you remember I was real big on Callisto Protocol. Um, Bought
Yeah,
it day and date. Uh, I enjoyed it. Game was very short, had some bugs. Paid $70 for it. Should
that
have
was $70.
should remember it was the first time it was $70. I had a $10 gift card
Mm,
and I got it on sale. So I got it below after taxes. I might have hit 60.
mm.
And a couple of months ago, that game was $10.
Yeah, that's rough.
I could have bought that game for $10 in Walmart. And I think I posted a picture. It was that and Midnight Suns. Midnight Suns was 12 and that was 10. And
I got that as a
I bought
Christmas
it.
gift. I need to play. I haven't played it yet.
Um, I bought it to support the developer. I really wanted them to flourish. I followed everything about the game. And
Is that Glenn Schofield?
yep. And $10, Banks. $10. $10. Um, I I want to know the whole story behind the game. Um, I the digital pass or season pass costs more than the game does right now, and
Oh wow.
I want to play the rest of it and find out like what happens because the game technically doesn't end
Hold
after
on
you
one
get
second. Hey, Ken, you don't have to be that guy. Go ahead. That
what
was
we
it.
talking about.
You're talking
Um,
about the physical copy of the digital stuff. You don't have to be that guy, Ken. You know what we meant. But go ahead.
no, yep, same dev. Banks. That's why I bought. That's why I got it. Uh, Now I do like Microsoft's Game Pass, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't. Michael has converted me to Game Pass. I will admit I was one of those people. I I did not see the value in it, but now, oh yeah, I definitely see the value in it. Um, Now all I need Microsoft to do is get me a handheld, and I'm Microsoft all the way, baby. Um,
Sure.
but no, I paid $70 for that game. That is the last full price game I will ever buy. Day one game, full price game I will ever buy. Yeah,
Interesting.
it scarred me like that.
So you wouldn't. I'm trying to think of. Oh, this is
What?
the idea of wrestling becoming kayfabe and breaking off into real stuff. This is. Oh, this is great. This is some. There's some
Kayfabe.
good behind kayfabe. The idea of wrestling being real and everything is legitimate and not work angles and
Oh,
stuff. It's the
mm,
idea that the audience believes into what's actually happening. Because right now there's a wrestler that is behind the scenes arguing with anchors and producers of our television hosts and producers on the wrestling because he lost his match. It's good stuff. I have to watch later. I'm very invested. Anyway, is Mike distracted by? I'm very distracted by pro wrestling. I don't know if you heard at the beginning, Ken, but I'm loving wrestling now. Again, got back into it. But where's your question? Where's your statement?
Oh no, I said that
Game Pass.
experience. Yeah, no, not Game Pass. Buying that's the last full price game I will ever buy.
The last thing that we had taped, it was either the last thing we put up or the thing before that when we kind of reviewed Xbox's Summer Game Fest or whatever, and we talked about some of the games that hit us, and there were a couple that you liked, like I think maybe was it the Doom game, and I can't remember the other.
No, it was E-Day.
E-Day.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you would buy that day one.
No,
But I guess okay, fair enough.
I wouldn't have to. I'd get Game Pass.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna tell you right now. There's nothing. There is no game that would make me buy. Very few games that would make me buy day one. It'd have to. It maybe Death Stranding 2.
I was going to ask you about Metal Gear Solid Delta.
No, because
Okay.
because this is why, and this is another topic we'll bring up, and I actually will post this and give people option of what topics we discuss because I'm gonna flesh them out and then I'll put them up. I don't think we're going to get another Metal Gear game anytime soon, like a proper
Oh, you mean like
Metal Gear.
a new Metal Gear game. Okay.
And even if we did, I still wouldn't buy it day one. However, Naughty Dog might get me.
Oh, with
with
Last
the
of Us
Last
3?
of Us part. Last of Us 3 might get me. But other than that, nope.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I still haven't bought Spider-Man 2 yet. And
You're the reason why Insomniac lost jobs.
Yeah.
Be proud of that. They lost jobs because of you.
Yep. I'm not because here's the thing. I like Spider-Man. I loved Miles Morales. Spider-Man's not my favorite character.
Sure.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Wolverine still ain't buying that shit day one either. There are very few games that I buy day one, and I went out on a limb for a new developer for that game, and I'm just like, you know what? Nope, because it'll be on sale eventually. The only reason why those two games I would buy is because I want to play them so that the story wouldn't be spoiled for me. That's it.
Yeah, it's interesting to be in our hobby that we like to play good game or to the ability to talk about games. It's interesting that if you don't play them day one or like within the first week, you have to kind of avoid spoilers because there are a lot of games that I still haven't played. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody brought up a comment about they had started Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Might have been K.
I can't remember, but they stopped playing it because they lost one of the they lost one of their romance threads or whatever, and I had to stop reading it because that's a game that I bought that I haven't played yet, but I know I'll get to. I bought that because it was on sale, so I picked it up. But yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did pick it up when it was free on PSN. It was a monthly game. I'm honestly going to wait for that when they
Thanks,
collect
okay.
it. Yeah, it was me. Okay, thank you, Banks. I'll wait for all three of them. They'll collect it all three.
They will, and I wonder if the third one is going to be released on PlayStation 5 or if it'll be PlayStation 6. I don't know. I know they'd already had pre-production on the third one going pretty strong during the second one, so they could release it like the last
You know
year.
it'll probably be?
What's
Nope.
that?
You know it's exactly what you said. They'll release it the last year of the console, and then do a special edition, upgraded for the PlayStation 6. That'll probably be what happened. No, Kim from Chicago brings up waiting for a good Arkham Batman game. I don't think we're ever going to get another Arkham game anytime soon. I think Warner Brothers is trash right now,
I
and they
think
have
like
no idea what they're doing.
I think the people that made those really good Arkham games, that studio doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
Like like Rocksteady is still there in name, but the people that really helped put that together, they're at another
Yep.
studio now. The heads of
It's like
Rocksteady are forming their
LTX.
own thing. The heads of Rocksteady have formed their own studio. The people that are still there, um, I don't know. And even not even talking about the online and like the microtransaction nature of the Suicide Squad game, the Kill the Justice League or whatever. Like the overall loop of that game for me didn't seem great. It's something I wanted to do over and over again. So I don't know.
I still want to play it. Like I'll be honest with you, when that game finally drops to like $20, I'll pick it up because I
Hmm.
still want to play it.
Okay.
Like
I played Arkham
I,
Knight, not by Rocksteady, by whoever did that other spin-off Arkham game that people didn't care for.
I'm gonna tell you right
Um,
now, I still want to play that.
you can get it. It was on PSN. I don't know if it still is. That's how I played it. Um, but
I
it was all
might
right.
it might be in my library.
Okay.
Yeah, I still want to play that. Uh, no, I as bad as that game is, I still want to know the story behind it. Like I still want to play it, but no, I don't think we'll ever get a good. I think that studio has to crash and burn before they actually get somebody who because here's the thing, I still don't think that they think they did anything wrong, if that
You
makes
talking about
sense.
Warner Brothers?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I from all the reporting and the reports that we've seen and all the they're still going forward with live service games to the point where they don't see what they did wrong with Suicide Squad to get back to the games that they made in the past. I don't think that they see where they made their mistake and they have to like keep stepping on rakes. Because here's another thing. They wanted that Harry Potter game to be live service.
Hmm.
There's reports that they wanted the Harry Potter game to be live service. And I'm telling you right now, that was probably one of the dumbest things that they could have done. And it worked out for them. But I think that they thought, I think based on the reporting, they're like, it made this much money and it was a single player game. Imagine if we made it live service. That's what they're thinking. They're not thinking of, oh, we dodged a bullet by making it single player. So I think that studio is non existent. I think that studio is a snake skin and the snake is gone. And we're just seeing the husk of whatever it was that Rocksteady is.
Hmm.
Um, and that's another topic we could get into, like who's what studio do you still believe in and still trust? Now, okay, the difference is the trailer you're thinking of was the last Arkham Knight. That trailer was awesome, and I love the trailer
That's the one
for
Ken's talking about.
yeah, kid. But I also think the trailer for Gotham Knights was awesome. The game was just terrible, from what Michael tells me. I haven't
It's
played it, so I don't know.
it's very repetitive. It is not the same combat as the Arkham series. I
Yeah.
did beat it just because I started it, so I'll beat it. But yeah,
No.
it was a slog.
Um, what getting back to because you don't buy games day and date either. Is there a
I
game
think the
that you
last
would
game I
buy?
bought day and dates. Let's see. Let's see.
Because keep in mind, you're still a Nintendo fan, so and
You
Nintendo
know
stuff
what?
doesn't go on. See that? There you go. That's
Well, no, interesting that you said that because the game that I did buy day and date was Luigi's Mansion 2 HD,
mhm.
which is essentially just a remake port of the Luigi Mansion game that came to 3DS. But I bought that. I bought that for Wendy because she wanted to play it. She likes Luigi Mansion games. Um,
Okay.
so I bought that for her. But like the last game I bought for me, day and date. I'm looking around this room now to see if I can see what games I would have bought day and date. I think I bought Horizon Forbidden West because I got the Super Deluxe Edition with the statue. I think I bought that day and date. Um, so what was that? 2 years ago, maybe? Yeah, it's been a minute since I bought a game day one. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's no game. Oh, DeMar DeRozan's heading to Sacramento. Sorry, it was
No,
basketball
good.
stuff.
It's all good.
Um, uh, yeah, I thought this was a very interesting conversation. Also, Arkham Knight's feature 4 playable heroes, but limited to only 2 co-op play.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah, Ken, that
there's
was
a
so
lot of
dumb.
that. There's a lot of that. Like I liked it because it was the first time you were able to play as Nightwing and the Red Hood. I love that aspect of it, and I thought the different fighting styles would have been amazing, and the different double moves that you would have been able to do. But when I saw after Michael told me, and then I saw a lot of reviews, they didn't do a good job with that, and that's very disheartening.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I think we talked about this for a while.
We
I
went an hour.
We went an hour.
Yeah.
I do so. I'm gonna give you guys behind the scenes a little bit. So me and Michael were discussing what topics to do because we were trying to do a live. A couple of the topics that I want to get to, but we need a little bit of time. So you guys help decide what we talk about next. One of the topics is uh, there's a trailer for a movie called. It's basically about collecting, and it delves into like card collecting, Pokemon memorabilia, and it made me think about like,
Where is that playing at? Or where is that streaming at?
ah, hold on, let me
I've seen that. I
find
know
it.
what you're talking about, but it's like streaming on
Yeah.
a not like a
Is,
major
oh,
streaming service. I don't
oh,
think.
is it streaming already?
I believe so, but I don't think it was
Hold
coming to
on.
like a Netflix or a Hulu. I feel like it was coming somewhere else.
No, hold on. Is it behind the card? No. Is it
Yeah,
the
it was a
hobby?
documentary style film. Ken.
Is it the hobby?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Hold on. It might be the hobby.
Yeah, it looks like people are calling saying the hobby.
Yeah. So
2024. Yeah.
yeah, the hobby. So I wanted to talk about why we collect, and because the reason why I wanted to bring it up because my wife asked me one day, like, why I love Star Wars or why I collect, and I wanted to like using this documentary dive into why we as nerds, it seems, we're like overgrown dragons where we have to hoard certain things to show off what we love, and it's almost a difference. I don't know. Let me backtrack. There seems to be a difference in how we view us versus sports fans, where sports fans can decorate their car, wave flags, wear jerseys in public, and no one bats an eye. But when it comes to us, there is a difference. So that's one of the topics I wanted to dive into. The other one was, are we in a boom of prequels? Are prequels the future, a future niche in video games? Um, Me and Michael talked about just now the idea of E Day, a prequel to Gears of War, Doom, Middle or Dark Ages. There's a prequel. We're getting a redo of Metal Gear Solid 3, aka Delta. Um, there's a We always hear about sequel games, but it seems that we're getting a lot of prequel games, and it seems, and I'm wondering, is that an is that not necessarily the future of gaming, but is there something to that? In other words, this idea of restarting and then doing a little bit of prequel stuff, is there something to that? Does the data back that up? Are the prequel games more beloved? So that's another topic. And there was one more, Michael, that we talked about that I wanted to flesh out a little bit. Uh, do you remember what it was?
No, I thought it was just those two.
There was another one I can't remember though. But yeah, I'll post them on the YouTube page, and you guys select which one, and we'll dive into it a little bit more. So hold your thoughts to that. Kay, I see what you're saying. Ken, I see what you're saying. Ken, you're right. People love to own stuff, and it ain't just us, you know. But yeah, so what got you through the week, man? It's been a hard week, a hard 2 weeks for some people in news.
I don't know, man. I'm just as much as fun as this is, it sucks when you have to adult with stuff. Um, last was it Tuesday? This past Tuesday, I worked an earlier shift, so I got home earlier, and I'm happy that I did because I got home in time to hear a hissing noise in my bathroom to find that my toilet bowl had cracked and the water came out of the tank part of reservoir. So my second story bathroom had water on the floor, so I had to soak all that up. And at the same time, some sort of pipe or something issue happened. Long story short, I got restoration specialists in and out of my house trying to fix stuff. So it's been fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it looks like home insurance will pay for it. It seems to be covered. So just trying to get through that and get a new toilet for upstairs and fix all that stuff. But it's fun to be an adult. So I ain't done nothing that's fun really
Is
this
it good
week.
to be an adult?
I don't know, man. I look at it as I'm glad that I worked an
I've
early
got
shift
thoughts.
Tuesday instead of
I've got
Tuesday night.
thoughts.
Because if I had worked my regular shift Tuesday night, I would have been really screwed. I'm thinking with all that
Yeah.
water sinking. Yeah, but it was a considering a
Won't he do
bidet.
it?
You know what? I've thought about a bidet. I have thought about a bidet, but no, I'm gonna go with the standard toilet. But yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
did this week. I mean, and like I said before, I am playing Jedi Survivor. Was watching Money in the Bank for wrestling. I guess that's what
Mhm.
got me through the week. What about you?
I'm playing Fallout 4,
Still?
and oh, dude,
And
I, I've
this all stems from after watching the TV show, right? You got like
yeah.
re spark your interest.
So it, I love the Fallout series. I know a lot of people are like Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout 3 is my favorite Fallout. Um, I like Fallout 4. I still think 3 is a. I like 3 more, and I think honestly it's because it just blew me away. Like I played the first Fallout on PC, but I really wasn't like it wasn't. I wasn't there.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm playing that. Uh, uh, Edge Runners is really good. Um, Kim Chicago brings up Edge Runners. Edge Runners.
Yeah, Edge
Now,
Runners was a good anime. I enjoyed that.
so go check out. So when you watch Edge Runners and then go play, you can find all of that gear
Hmm.
in Fallout. I'm
I
not
got it.
Fallout.
Yep,
Cyberpunk. Yeah.
I got it.
Um, because I got old girl's shotgun, and I was just
Oh, cool.
destroying people in the face with that.
I remember I
Um,
had the dude's jacket or whatever,
yeah, I
an
found the
advisor
jacket.
maybe, but yeah.
I found the jacket. The shotgun was what I really liked. I upgraded that, and so I could just pummel people in the face. But anyway, um, we're playing Fallout, and oh, Star Wars. That was the other topic we were going to do. Star Wars, because I was
Oh,
going.
Acolyte? No,
Yeah,
wait, just Star
well,
Wars
no,
overall.
no, just Star Wars overall. I'm enjoying Acolyte. I'm really enjoying Acolyte. I think the fifth episode might be one of the best fighting lightsaber episodes. Um,
Cool.
I think Acolyte has some issues. I'm not going to deny that it does. Um, but overall, I really like Acolyte and what they're trying to do. Um, I'm definitely liking it more than Ahsoka. But Kim, I'm with you. Outside of Obi-Wan, Acolyte has one of the best lightsaber fights. Just pure lightsaber. I'll say Jedi fights. Um, I'll put it like this: lightsaber fights. There are three, top three. the last fight, the last fight we got between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, the last Jedi fight scene in Acolytes Episode 5. Those are three of the top Jedi lightsaber battles. So we're gonna delve into that because I'm gonna get Michael to watch it. But just overall, what should Star Wars do? And we're not going to be like those other channels who are just like going to rag on it. We're actually going to be very critical about it.
Lofty goals you put for us.
No, because because there's a lot of channels out there who are monetizing hate.
Oh, sure.
And
Yeah.
we've never been those guys. We've never been.
We're not smart enough to
who,
know how to monetize hate.
Oh no, we're definitely smart enough. We know what sells. We're just not evil at heart. You know, I'm evil on surface.
Okay.
I'm surface evil.
Surface evil. Hashtag surface evil.
Yeah, I can't maintain that kind of
going.
hate. Yeah, I can't maintain that level of hate. For a couple of people, yeah, but like for a whole thing, no. Unless it's the Cowboys. Fuck them. But yeah, those three things. And right before we go, because we'll wrap up after this, if you are a big movie fan, the Criterion Collection is on sale at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, 50% off.
Cool.
So keep it down.
Folks, that can be for us because I don't need to see no violence on my screen. I don't need to get a full screen and report some domestic violence. I do that enough already in my regular job. I'm not trying to do that in my personal life.
Nobody told you to move to a real city.
Fair enough. Boy, Charlotte, man, you give and you take. Charlotte, you give and you take. But channels on YouTube, all they do is scream woke and hate. No.
Okay, I'm with you. Like I'm not one of those. I can't do that. I love everything Star Wars, even the stuff I don't like. So
fair enough. Folks, that'll be it for us. Same time next week. We hope so. I should be free. Are you free? Possibly, hopefully.
What's next week?
Based on this, it would be the 13th?
Yeah, it should be. Something is going up, whether we're live or whether it's tape. Something's going up. Yeah.
All right, folks. See y'all next week. Hopefully around the same time, same press time. Yeah.
Hey,
same press time.
Stay
same
safe, guys.
Channel. All right.
Hey, stay safe, everybody. Find what you love. We're out. Peace.
We're out.